Guys, thanks. I know you're all very busy for taking a minute out of your day. Today we're joined by special guest Dan Kennedy. Dan comes to us from the Tampa, Florida area. Dan works for DuraGuard Lighting, so we'll get straight to Dan. Let him tell you about the innovative products from DuraGuard. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of this video, and I'll be back with you, and we'll get a prize package out for today. Dan's coming to us from Florida today. I've had the opportunity to get down and do a little fishing, if we'll call it fishing, with what I did. But Dan, if you would take a second to tell everybody just a little bit about DuraGuard and what your role is there.
Sure. DuraGuard is a 35-year-old company, and we are a true manufacturer. We make our fixtures from raw materials to finished goods. We have a lot of automated processes that help us to create products that are consistent and have long life and have long durability. We have a full range of outdoor products, from area lights to wall packs to bollards to floodlights, pendant lights, and we have a lot of specialty fixtures for things like sports lighting applications and parking garages and things like that. So a full line of products in the outdoor realm. And my role there at the company is I'm the director of marketing, and I work with the sales force to promote our products. I help develop all the literature, and I do product development. So I work in the front end in designing the products to make sure that they meet the specifications that the industry is looking for.
Very good. So Dan, the first thing I want to talk about is your Kitty Hawk line. That seems to be what I've had the most success with to this point, which is all exterior lighting. So we're going to take a quick second and show you a 45-second video to kind of segue into what Dan's getting ready to tell you. So guys, take a look at this.
DuraGuard introduces the Hampton Kitty Hawk family. These fixtures are designed and scaled to cover all aspects of a project. Kitty Hawks are architecturally engineered for an integrated and fluid appearance. DuraGuard has a full variety of Kitty Hawk fixtures, ranging from 22 watts to 512 watts. Our fixtures include area, wall, and flood applications, with multiple mounting options. Thank you for watching. Think durability, think DuraGuard.
Okay, so Dan, they've just seen your little 45-second YouTube video on the Kitty Hawk products, so I'll let you take it from there and get into the meat and potatoes of that product.
Sure. And so the Kitty Hawk line was really designed to cover every aspect of a site project. We have 4 sizes. We have a KH15, the KH25, the KH45, and the KH55. It goes all the way down from 22 watts all the way up to over 500 watts. So we've got a wide range of products. We have type 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, along with a narrow beam. And in addition to that, we also have 3K, 4K, and 5K color temperatures available. So that entire product line, we offer also accessories such as photocells, onboard sensors. We have glare shields, we have guards, and we have a set of mountings, from full cutoff wall mounts to adjustable brackets to floodlight slip fitters. So really what you've got is a series of products that look the same and are scaled in size. So you can do everything on the project, from small wall packs over doors to ground mounted floodlights to pole mounted floodlights to highlight the front of a shopping center, and all aspects of the area lighting. And we've recently added a auto dealership optics package too. So we have the rotated optics for auto dealerships. That's a new launch we just did. And we expanded our wattages. So on the higher wattage fixtures, we have 8 different wattages available. So you have a lot of tools available to you to do just the right lighting job for every calculation. You can put the same fixture housing in different light levels in the back than the front, higher lighting in the street, highlighting at the front row of a dealership. So we have lots of availability for you to do any kind of project that you could do.
Very good. You know, and I say it all the time, Dan, when I'm talking to my clients. I firmly believe part of my job is to bring new products to our market that are innovative, things that not everybody knows about. So I very much pride myself on in going out into the marketplace and finding products and finding their niche. And what we find with, in particular, this Kitty Hawk series of your site lighting is we can compete with the big boys in our market, and we can do it at a phenomenal value to the end use customer. So talk a little bit about how long you can expect for these fixtures to last and some of those type of things.
Yeah, so light fixture life is really a combination of the design that you put into it. It's the fixture's got to be a good heat sink. The fixture's got to seal properly against the environment. The fixture has to run the LEDs at an appropriate temperature and at an appropriate drive current. So the combination of all those things put together gives you what we call an L70 rating. And that's a calculation we do based upon the Department of Energy TM21 calculator. And we take the temperature that we run the LEDs and we calculate that against the life tests that are done by the LED manufacturer. Now, we use Samsung chips, which are one of the top rated chips in the industry. And by using those, and also we do high binning. So we do bin 7, 8, and 9, or I mean, sorry, 8, 9, and 10. And so by doing that, we get high performance and consistency in the diodes. So the combination of all that gives us life ratings in the 300,000 hour range. So L70 is 300,000 hours. That means that in the first 25,000 hours, you're going to lose about 2.5%. So pretty much you got no light loss. And so when you compare that to fixtures of L70 rating of say 100,000 hours, you're basically 3 to 4 times better in terms of lumen depreciation. So you can count on the light consistency to be a long time. And also the temperature, keeping that temperature down. So to get those long lives, you have to have a lower temperature at the diode, which means you have more metal in the fixture, more heat sinking. We use aluminum boards, so the diodes get spread. We spread them out so they're not right next to each other. All those are little tiny tidbits of the engineering process that create a very long life fixture. So you can actually look at fixtures and tell whether you're going to get a better life or not. If the diodes are all packed together and the boards are smaller, then you're going to get lower life. If the weight of the fixture is half as much as it should be, you're going to get lower life. If the drive current is really hot, like way up high, like 2100 milliamps instead of say 500 like we do, again, you're going to lower your life. So all those things are ways to cheapen the fixture. If you turn the drive current up, you get more lumens out of the diode, but you also shorten its life. So we build a quality fixture for a long life. That's really what we do. And we have, I think our return rate is something like 0.02%.
You know, and one of the things that's extremely interesting to me, and I won't, we're not here to bash your competitors or, you know, other things that I have access to. So we'll leave some names out, but you know, the majority of everybody that will watch this video will use or has used a very specific manufacturer in our market that does very well, very popular. We just wrote a job for a school corporation that's being installed as we speak. Very, very comparable in price. We'll just call it about the same for now. But their L70 rating was 100,000 hours. So virtually for what a lot of our guys are using, what a lot of you guys are using now, you can literally triple the life of the fixture, and the effective life of this fixture is what's important. And I don't think there's anybody in here watching this that's not going to retire in the lifespan of these DuraGuard fixtures, what we hope to get.
Sure, and just the point is when you run lighting calculations, you use a light loss factor. And the light loss factor is a product of that life rating. So if you have a fixture that's an L70 50,000 hours, that means in 50,000 hours you lose 30%. So your light loss factor for that period of time is 0.7. Okay, a fixture that has 300,000 hours, now your light loss factor is 0.965. Okay, so that means you can use a lot less fixtures if you're laying a project out, if you use the appropriate light loss factor aligned up with the L70 rating. So a lot of engineers will use a 0.85 or a 0.9 just because they don't know what they're going to buy. But you can use a 0.95 with our fixtures very comfortably. And if you're going up against a fixture that's got a lower rating, you can literally take out maybe 10 or 15% of the fixtures on a large job. So you can make money back on that too.
You know, to me, my mind immediately goes with, if I can use less fixtures for the same money, that gives my contractor a huge advantage to win that job. So, you know, and we continue to stress. We need to get in front of these customers and sell on the energy efficiency of these things, not price alone. And, you know, when it comes to site lighting, you know, currently I lead with DuraGuard about 100% of the time because of the way these fixtures perform and their price point. Right. And I'm not saying that because Dan's sitting here. I've said it to you all in your offices for some time now, but that's what you guys pay me for, is to find the best solution for the most economical value. And as we sit currently, it's DuraGuard. So, so please, when we look at site lighting, let's at least get some prices and break this down from DuraGuard. Now, Dan, I also we'll get into whenever it's appropriate with you. We'll get into these the gaskets and how you do that. But I want you to talk about your wall packs a little bit as well.
Actually, I have a wall pack I'm going to show you. This is one of our newer wall packs. We have in all of our fixtures, we have what we call dedicated fixtures. Dedicated means that the fixture is designed dedicated only to LED. So it's not an old HID housing with a board stuck in it. There's still a lot of that product out there, like your glass wall packs. They were HID fixtures, and people just put a board inside behind the glass. And you'll notice too, when you look at fixtures that were designed to be LED, the wattages are considerably higher than an old housing that was an HID housing. There's no heat sink in there. So you're just floating the board in air, and you've got to have a heat sink to get rid of the heat. So this fixture is our WPC 44, and I think you can take a look there. It's a full cutoff wall pack. It's got a nice optic package, and it's got a nice easy hang wall bracket, and you'll see that the wires are sealed in the back, so you can't get water intrusion. This is an IP66 fixture. A couple things about it that's interesting is I'll take the lens off. You'll see the lens has optical bubbles in it, and you'll see there's two different kinds on there. We make our own optics. We design our own optics. We make our own lenses. So we designed this one with a combination. These in the middle are type 3s, and these on the outside are type 4s. So we made a hybrid type 4. And what it does is the type 4, it's got a very large rectangular output. It's almost the shape of this. When you look at it on the site, it's the shape of this lens. So you get a really nice spacing and a very good spacing mounting height criteria. So you'll be able to go 1.5 times as many spacings as you do on conventional fixtures. And then on the inside, you'll see I'm going to put this up close, and you can, oops, oh, there's a board popped out. Look at that. Okay, so the board goes in here, and there's a gasket right here, if you can see it. Mm-hmm. And that is factory installed, robotically applied, closed cell silicone gasket. So we put all of our gaskets in robotically because there's no way for human beings to install gaskets perfectly every time. And if you've ever opened one of those old plastic vapor tight fixtures and dropped the lens and try to put the gasket back in and seal it up, it's nearly impossible. Well, our gaskets are physically attached to the housing, and they are robotically applied, so they're exactly the right size, the exact durometer, which is the crushing rating of it, and that matches up with how we mount the lens or the housing over it. And those gaskets are in every joint in the fixture. And again, we robotically apply them. And so by doing that, we assure that we get IP66 every time. You don't have to be concerned about water intrusion on any of our fixtures because of this process.
You know, I spent 2 days down with you, Dan, you and Rick down in Florida. Right. And look, everybody that'll see this video will know, you know, I say it every day. I'm not a salesman. I'm an electrician, right? Right. And I learned a lot in those 2 days with you guys down in Florida. But the number one thing I took away is these gaskets, because I can't tell you how many times I've been up on a lift and had to fix fixtures that were full of water. So that really resonated with me, and that was the biggest thing that I took away from that, just the amount of detail that's put into the gaskets themselves. And I think that speaks for your product broadly.
Sure, and again, it's the combination of making the housing, making the gasket, and then making the lens. So we make all the component parts ourselves. So we have complete control of how those things made up and fit.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but everybody that's watching this video has, you know, you have a parent company, obviously, from DuraGuard. Everybody watching this video has installed you guys' products in one way, shape, or form or another along the line and didn't know it. So, QSSI is the parent company that owns DuraGuard, and we've been an OEM supplier for many, many years, all the way back to our founding, which we were in the fan business, believe it or not. So we've done fans, we've done electrical fittings, we've done all kinds of products over the years. I mean, we truly are a manufacturer. Yeah, the
company.
This is not a small operation. These guys are doing it right. I've seen their assembly teams working. They do it the right way. So, you know, those are the two big things I wanted to concentrate on, Dan, is, you know, the Kitty Hawk line of the site lighting and the wall packs. That's what we've had the most success with. Everybody will get a link to your website, so I encourage everybody to go out and browse that and look at some other things. Sure. Because your line is very broad, so I'll give you some freedom to speak about just some different products.
Okay, great.
You mentioned sport lighters originally. We don't get into a lot of that, but we have quoted some of your sport lighting.
Yeah, we developed a nice sports lighter. It's again, we have a pretty high standard for temperature. So you'll see sports lighters in the marketplace that are the size of looks like a big pie pan, up there with LEDs all over them, and they're claiming, 90,000 lumens, and I mean just unbelievable stories, 120,000 lumens, or 112 or 1,200 watts, I mean they're just nuts, okay? And the thing about it is that you've got to have a decent heat sink. And so our fixtures stop at a certain lumen output and wattage, because that's really the limit of what you can do with the materials. And so you put those kind of things up, you're going to have problems. We have also got a great line of bollards, where we probably sell more bollards than anybody in the country. We have classic bollards. We have a whole new series of die cast or sand cast bollards coming out. We're getting into taller bollards up to 8 feet. So the light poles that look like a giant bollard, we're getting some of those in there. So we have a really nice line for that. And also the other thing that I want to point out is we have 5 facilities in the United States, and we assemble all of our products here. So we bring them over as parts, pieces, and kits. And then when you order, we configure to order. So we put in the board that's the right wattage, we put the right optics in it, we put the right drivers in it, we put the controls in it, we put all the mountings on it, we customize it, sometimes we custom paint, all the things we do. So every single order is assembled here. So we meet Buy America Act as an assembled product in the United States. And we have 5 locations to do it, and we ship most of our orders within 3 to 4 days. So,
yeah, and currently I'm telling everybody, Dan, I know the majority of your items ship in 3 days, but because of some COVID restrictions, you're doing business a little bit different. Sure. So I'm telling everybody generally 6, possibly 7 business days by the time we do what we need to do on our end. And that is extremely competitive in the market, to where these things are actually being assembled. They're not boxed up and just shipping. So that is very much in line. That is a very good turnaround time. So that doesn't concern us.
Yeah, great. Yeah, and so and really the way we build stuff really came about because you really can't pick what product to put in a box and put on the shelf. Which CCT, which distribution, which options, and a lot of people try to do that, and they end up with a whole lot of inventory that's obsolete before they ever get rid of all of it.
Which ultimately drives your price up.
Exactly, and that's what really drove us to be where we are, because as originally an OEM supplier, we needed to meet the needs of customers with all kinds of combinations. So we turned into a manufacturer here, because that was really the best way to service that market, and it's turned out to be quite a benefit to all of our customers and all of our markets now.
You mentioned bollards, and I had some gentlemen with me when we were down to see you from a contractor. I think if one of these guys, if he had to take away one thing, he was amazed at your bollards. So guys, please take a look at that website and look at their bollards. They're very attractive. So anything else you want to talk about, Dan?
Yeah, I think one last thing, we are adding to our classic bollard line a white, what we call LumaLens. So that's going to be just a glowing lens section in the top of the bollard, and that'll be for the round classic bollards that are dome top or flat top. That's a really nice addition, because for something like a college campus or areas where you have more intimate walkway areas where you need some uplight so you can safely identify people that are approaching you, you get about 30% uplight with those, and so it allows you to feel safer and have a more intimate environment, and does a wonderful job. So that's a new thing that's coming out, and we've also expanded our wattages on our bollards. So we now have 3 wattages on most bollards, a lower and a higher wattage. So we're doing a lot of work on expanding wattages on our lines by applying different drivers and different drive currents to our boards. So that's a big expansion we're doing. We also offer motion sensors on them. So if you need motion sensors on the bollards, we can apply those internally to the fixture.
We did a job in northern Indiana. It was just a couple of blue fixtures, right, to highlight some sign work, and it actually went to one of our contractors, and they really loved that product. And a gentleman that owned a national chain of gas stations happened to see this. So since then, we've actually had you guys go in and custom design some canopies with green lighting. So
Great.
You guys are, these guys are very nimble. Don't be afraid to ask, right, Dan? I mean, you'll look at anything.
Right. Yeah, we do have static color LEDs. So we do, because we make our own boards, we do some static color. So a lot of projects will use a red or a green or a blue or an amber color light. There's a high school down here that has our blue and amber on there because they're blue and gold colors. So they have those on the gym. So there's a lot of opportunity with that. And we also have a high output amber that's comparable to low pressure sodium. Don't know if you have any of that in your marketplace, but
we do not.
Low pressure sodium replacement that's available. So
yeah, I have yet to see that. I have yet to see that here, but you know, I like I say, I very highly encourage you guys take their DuraGuard's line is very broad, guys. What we've talked about today is not that we're just scratching the surface. I picked the things that I have been most successful with.
Sure.
That I have no reason to think you won't be successful with as well. You know, and I'm a firm believer in, you know, selling on the energy savings, getting the price right, and then we can all win on that. And what we see currently is DuraGuard is the guy to go with on these. It just makes sense when we do these energy audits and run the numbers. The numbers don't lie. So, Dan, thank you so much for taking a few minutes out of your day with us. I'd like to do this again sometime. Maybe we can expand into some more of your niche products. And, you know, it's a pleasure doing business with you guys as always. So, it's guys, we're in a very unique situation where I've had the opportunity to go down there and I can call Dan. He's going to answer his phone. That's not a typical thing for a guy in my position at distribution to be able to get the right people on the phone.
Sure.
You know, and I'm going to guess if the situation warranted, I could get Rick to answer the phone and talk to me. That's a big deal.
Absolutely. No, it's a very hands-on company. Everybody, we all wear a lot of hats and we all try to do the best we can for the customer whenever we have an opportunity to do so.
Well, very good, Dan. Again, thank you. I'll be down in Florida hopefully soon. We can grab a beer. We can do anything except for go fishing.
You bet.
I'm out on that. So, guys, thank you very much. Thank you, Dan, and we'll talk to you all very soon. All right, guys, thanks for watching. That was Dan Kennedy with QSSI. Hey, make sure you shoot me a text, email me, put a comment in the video link below, and we'll register for you to win this prize today, guys. Nice little hat coming to us from our friends at North American Breaker Company. As always, if you have any questions or anything I can help you with, please do not hesitate to reach out to me, guys. Thank you all so much for your support and have a great day.